When did you become so averse to hardship? As iron sharpens iron, difficulties strengthen the individual. Doing the thing that you don't want to do most, that you're trying so desperately to avoid, is what you need to do to move forward. 100 push-ups isn't easy, but the man that you become by doing 100 push-ups is who you need to be to retire your friends and your family, to make sure that your future wife and children say, wow, you were really ready for us to build the future. And on this note, I recently had a discussion with someone who the boys and I had grown distant with over the past couple of months, but still felt that deep connection. And I think it's an unwritten rule with the boys. Wherever you are, whenever the need arises, for whatever reason, when you need me, I will be there. Honoring that vow means I will have the money to get there. I will have the confidence and the resolve to do whatever it takes to save you, to help you. I will be there. You're halfway across the world. Hey dude, I feel super overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. Help. All right, I booked the ticket. Now we're in Italy. But the conversation with the brother went like this. I don't remember making those vows. I'm not ready, and I'm not capable of saving you. What would you even do? It is a fool's errand to commit to something like, I would be there for you no matter where you are in the world, even if it meant spending 100% of my money, time, and life, because that's what unconditional love is. It's the amount that someone is willing to sacrifice for you. It's overlooked. You guys don't realize unconditional love is I would sacrifice the rest of my life. If you were in trouble, I would live for you. Oh, dude, he's in Mexico. He's having a good time. Yeah, I hope he's having a great time. Oh, dude, he was kidnapped by the cartel. Maybe dead right now. Well, we're selling everything that we have and we're going down to Mexico. I'm going to try and call everybody that I can in the States and we're going to figure it out. I'm going to spend the rest of my life until I find you and rescue you, or I find your body. And then I will come back to your parents and your family, and I will make sure that the rest of their lives are okay. And any dreams that you left uncompleted, I will carry the ship. That's the vow of brotherhood. You just go out somewhere and try and figure it out? What if you die? Then I die. Then I die. You think he had a choice? You have to accept reality, dude. That's what we've been doing this whole time. What have you been doing? It doesn't matter if you're ready. Yo, what's up, cartel? Hold on. Release them. Let's check back. I'm just not ready yet. I guess I took that for granted. You formed strong connections with people and you love them unconditionally and you want what's best for them, even if that means walking away from them. Because I'm not going to lead somebody else on. I'm not going to take advantage of their emotional instability while I'm not a strong enough foundation for even myself. This individual had been pushing us so hard to become the best versions of ourselves, to always do what is right, to go above and beyond. And then this conversation reveals, hey, this lifelong commitment that we had, every time you would fall, or you would grow distant, I would come in and don't settle. You're pushing everyone away. Stop being a fool. And us having been the receivers the entire time, to accept it, we had to recognize that you were right. And in that way, it's a vow between you and me. I recognize that we now have a standard. I will not get into a relationship with somebody until I can be secure by myself. And now, by ignoring all of that, you're communicating. Those vows actually weren't important. Oh, you thought that we were going to build something together. Oh, no, dude, I don't actually care about the outcome of your life. At the end of the day, the work doesn't change. You have to recognize your faults, your deficits. Because the moment that you step back into a new relationship, then you just take that right into the next relationship. And it's almost a given that you're going to have unhealed wounds from that first relationship. And let's say you end up having kids. Well, you didn't heal from the trauma of your past relationship, and you never recognized your deficits in the relationships you had, which span beyond just romantic. Remember, you can actually gauge exactly how your relationship is going to be by the strength and respect within your current relationships. That's why it's so important when you're going to date somebody, you always look at their relationship with their mother. That is how they treat women that are important to them. Look at how they treat their father. That's how they're going to treat an important male if they have nieces or nephews. That's how they treat important children. How they treat their siblings if they have any, or cousins or friends. That's going to teach you how they treat important equals. And if they can't view them as an equal, it's evident that they don't really have practice. That means that it's your job to build that relationship. And if you're not strong enough to set boundaries and uphold them, they're not going to be set, they're not going to be respected, because you have to be both parent, significant other, friend, roommate. That's 4 relationships to manage already. If you have not healed any traumas, you also have to be student/child. So now you're gauging your significant other on how well they can be your parent, your friend, your significant other, your business partner/roommate. Can you trust them financially? Are they going to be there when you need them? How well can they be your family member, which now automatically means they have to balance the relationship with every single one of your family members. Do they value every one of your family members? And your friends. How important are your friends in your life? Are your friends built into your future? Because if they are going to be significant all the way to the end of your life. And it matters how well your significant other values, respects, and supports your relationship with your friends and your family and your pursuits and goals. You should be that for them. And that's just dating. You have set this standard for us, and now we watch you walk away and reject all of that when that is what built our entire foundation. You had the effect of making sure that we did not step into something before we were ready. And now when we say, remember when you said all these things to us? Well, we thought that was really smart, actually. We respect the shit out of you. It was hard, but we needed it. Because I don't want to step into somebody else's life before I can securely run my own. I don't want to step into somebody else's life with unhealed trauma, because then it's going to be taken out on them and I'm going to view them inaccurately. I don't want to step into somebody else's life until I've grown from my deficits that I could not deliver on. My base standard in a relationship was not high enough. And that needs to be corrected so that I don't take that out on her and then the kids and then her friends and her family. None of that has anything to do with her. That is me and my past relationships. So if you take your baggage and throw it out on somebody else who probably needs more support than taking the role of a parent, you are doing them a disservice because you decided that you didn't care enough actually to think about what they needed in their life, and therefore you don't really care what they need, which means that the only thing you're doing is focusing on what you need. And for someone that we had relied on to show up anywhere in the world at any time, for any reason, not caring about somebody else enough to just reflect and take 6 months to grow, it's heartbreaking. Everything that we said to each other had very little value to you. That sucks. All of the work that we were doing to become better people, inspired by you actually, didn't really mean anything to you. The sacrifices that I've made to make sure that I always have a balance in my bank account to be able to support any ventures that you make or to reach you wherever you are, whenever you need it, isn't valued. So stop taking other people for granted. Taking a significant action does not change your foundation that you've built. Your ability to respect and cultivate long-term relationships and boundaries is reflected in the ones you already have. Your financial state is not going to change immediately because you gain more money. Your financial state is what it is right now. That's your current capability. Your ability to deal with pressure, hardship, questions you don't want to answer, difficult conversations is reflective in the difficult conversations you have now. In a relationship, they look and feel the same. And if you're not capable of navigating through them effectively and making the other person feel heard and valued, it's not going to magically change. You can't back out of lifelong vows, a lifelong committed relationship, step into a lifelong committed relationship with lifelong vows, and expect any individual to see both of those things, especially when you're the one affected by breaking of lifelong vows, not to be worried for this new one. A relationship is like a new child. I'm committing to growing, supporting, nourishing this child until it grows up and reaches maturity. I will love it unconditionally. I will sacrifice my life for it. And I will respect it beyond anything else. And yet, you've done that already. The first one is yourself. The second one is those relationships who will stay with you forever. The third one is supposed to be the accumulation of all of them. That's why you take time. And that's why you wait. That's why you focus on yourself. So if you've got some real ones out there, don't neglect them. If you're getting into a relationship, audit their current relationships, audit yourself and your relationships. Because if somebody can easily burn bridges, just Expect everything to be okay. That's how they're going to treat you, and that's how you're going to treat them. And if your vows are that shallow, you're going to have a really hard time trusting yourself, being trusted by the ones you just hurt, and creating a relationship of trust. That's why it's important to be secure before you go into a new one, to be healed before you bring your trauma into a new relationship, and to be able to trust the foundation that you've built around you. Deep breath, nourish the mind, nourish the body, nourish the soul. Commit to yourself and heal yourself. There will always be time. The world is not going to end. Don't take baggage into new relationships if you can help it, boys, because now you've watched this video and now you're aware of it, which means you actually can help it. Sorry, I removed the excuse. Don't mess around. Heal yourself, become a better parent, become a better significant other, become a better human, stronger, more secure, healed. Arise.